In this video, we're going to be looking over the week 4 application questions. So let's get started with the first problem here. It says BMI can be calculated by taking weight in kilograms and dividing by the square of the height in meters. A patient weighs 87 kilograms and is 135 centimeters tall. What is the patient's BMI? Round to the nearest whole number. Alrighty, so let's get ourselves set up here. So we need to take the weight in kilograms and divide by the square of the height in meters. So what is our weight in kilograms? Well, we know that this person weighs 87 kilograms, so we're going to put that on the top. And then we're going to take the square of the height in meters and put it on the bottom. But there's something tricky happening here. They gave us the height in centimeters. So let's take our height in centimeters and convert it to meters. So we know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. And when we divide 135 by 100, we get 1.35 meters. And our units would cancel and we'd be left with meters. But we want to take the square of the height in meters. So let's take 1.35 down here. And let's square it. And that's meters again. All right, and so when we take 1.35 and we square that, on the bottom, we're going to get a decimal that looks like 1.8225. And on the top, we still just have 87 kilograms. Continuing on down here, when we take 87 and divide by 1.8225 meters, if you type that in your calculator, you're going to get quite the decimal here. I'll write out the first couple digits for you guys. 47.7366. All right, but this question is asking for us to round to the nearest whole number. So in which case, we need to look at this digit right here. And then we take a quick look to the right and we see that this digit is greater than 5. And so this digit in question is going to round up. So we're left with 48. Our units would be kilograms per meter, but this is the BMI. Try another. A person's BMI is calculated by dividing the weight in pounds by the square of the height in inches, multiplied by 703. A person weighs 148 pounds and is 70 inches tall. What is the BMI? Round to the nearest whole number. Okay, so from the question here, let's go ahead and devise our formula, or our plan of attack, so to speak. So we need to take the weight in pounds by the square of the height and multiply that by 703. So let's take the weight in pounds, which is 148 pounds, divided by the square of the height in inches. So the height is 70 inches tall, and we need to take the square of that. So it's going to be 70 squared and then inches. multiplied by 703. All right. So order of operations says that we need to take care of the exponent first. So when we take 70 squared, this will become 148 over 4,900 times 703. Okay? Now we're going to divide 148 divided by 4,900 times 703. This gives us, we get quite a long decimal here, so I'm just gonna write off the first couple of digits after the decimal. It's gonna be 21.2335. Okay, but again, the question is asking for us to round to the nearest whole number. So we're gonna look at this, the ones place here. And we're going to look to the right, and we notice that this digit again is less than 5. So our answer gets rounded off to 21. And this is the BMI, which is going to be pounds per inch. But this is also the BMI, so you could just label it as BMI. Oh, sorry, pounds per square inch. All right. Let's look at the last question here. A patient takes 40 milligrams less than twice the normal dosage of 250 milligrams. How many milligrams too much did the patient take? So we know that the normal dosage that they should receive is 250 milligrams. So let's start there. So it says they took 40 milligrams less than twice the normal dosage. So twice the normal dosage we would write as 2 times 250 milligrams. And they took 40 less than that. So when we multiply here, 2 times 250 gives us 500 minus 40 is going to give us 460 milligrams. But we need to look at the question again. How many milligrams too much did the patient take? So they're not asking for this value right here. They're asking how many milligrams too much. Well, let's look at the original dosage. The original dosage is 250 milligrams. So let's subtract, since we're looking for the difference here. Minus 250 milligrams. When we subtract here, we get 0 minus 0 is 0, 6 minus 5 is 1, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So they took 210 milligrams too much.